Yeah, Journey was on tour for Infinity. I went to that.
Okay, and Rick Upshaw wrote, actually the two songs on Strangers on the Night that are not live are Mother Mary and This Kids, and Let It Roll is live, ? I didn't even know that there was...
I knew that. I knew they went back and did it. And do you know that the record used to open with Natural Thing, but that's not how they opened.
I have
the
expanded remastered.
Yeah, right. It's
edition,
not how they opened the show.
So anybody can get that. I think that's a way better
version. When you hear the original versions,
it's
would you please welcome from England? UFO.
So they faked this out for all those years. Well, that's classic. That's how they should have opened.
Yeah. So, but that's not how they did. So, but I like them both. So.
All right, and then we're going to the April 14th update, and Burns 009 said Death Angel and Testament have released killer new albums. Ball's in your court now, Exodus.
Ball is in our court. We know that. We're very much aware of it.
Because those albums are great.
Fucking Death Angel nominated with a Grammy and Creed and Titans of Creations. Boom, boom, boom. So, yes, and we've been home, and again,
that puts some fire in you.
Sure it does. I mean, Gary's back from Slayer. There's no more commitment to having to finish a final tour. He's with it. So I think the pandemic kind of held us off for getting back together as a band, but I still see on the schedule
guitar players will write, even
Gary's got, it's Gary is the main songwriter in the band.
Doesn't he have a million riffs? That's what it is.
And he has a million riffs. And it's just a matter of him time when he sits down and does it. There's nothing being released right now. Amazon's not taking anything. Record labels are not releasing. So I think the urgency is it's got to be good, and we want it good. We're not just going to throw something out there that you guys want to just send. Well, God, Exodus needs a new album. It's been 6 years. We understand how long it's been. You want it great, right? Did you love Blood In, Blood Out? And the past 3 records were fucking awesome in my eyes, as well. I didn't sing on them, but I love singing those songs, and they're killers. So I do not see anything coming out that you guys are not going to like. It's going to be stellar. It's going to be great.
And during sound checks, you heard little snippets from Gary, right?
Again, I'm taking that's what it was because
him and Tom.
Him and Tom were jamming on stuff that I could see him like directing them, and that usually when he's doing that is telling him, and I heard at one point, no, that's got to play it faster. Play it as fast as you can. And I was like, yeah, play it as fast as you can, Tom. So that's what I'm hearing. Is it going to be part of a song? Quite possibly. Did I hear any full songs? No, nothing. I heard really heavy-ass changes in riffs that I heard. So just to be honest, that's what I know. But we know this. That record's going to be out. Don't worry. By the time we go back on the road, that'll be all... or be able to get back out on the road. That'll be all sorted out, I'm sure.
All right. And now Lee's wife, Celeste Altus, who's one of our biggest fans
fan
here,
ever.
Right?
Love you, Celeste. You are the biggest fan.
Here she is. Good job hunkering
we have to get
down
her a shirt as soon as we
during
get
this bizarre time. Zet, good health is everything. Loved your updates from the road and all the different countries and the ferry trip from hell. That should become a song. What's next in the series you're watching? Please don't say Tiger King. So I guess she's saying, what are you watching on Netflix?
I didn't watch Tiger King. I did watch it, and I thought, why are people getting so excited over this? It wasn't.
It was
really
so long. I thought like you'll never get those hours
I'll
back.
say what I've been locked into is Dark Side of the Ring, which I don't know if you're a wrestling fan, is amazing. It's on Vice Network. Chris Jericho narrates it. It's all the stories of the pretty much dark things that happened in wrestling. I mean, they talk about Miss Elizabeth. They talk about the last episode to finish season 2 was the death of Owen Hart. And they talked about, it was a 2-part episode this season about how Chris Benoit killed his wife and his son and how, and it's just a very in-depth, Chris Jericho narrates it. It is, wrestling fans, if have not seen this, it is brilliant. If there wasn't a dry eye in the room at the end of the Benoit thing. Everybody was crying. It was that, and of course the second seasons of What We Do in the Shadows just came out, and I'm watching that too. That's hella funny. They've even gotten better.
All right. So how do you rate the Tiger King? Just because it's such a cultural phenomena.
4 or 5.
We'll never get those 8 hours back.
I'm telling. I kept going at it, and going at it. And I'm like, why is everybody saying this is so great? I mean, I'm watching it with Vic, and I'm like, after the 6th episode, going,
You
do you know what's going on yet? I really don't know what's going on here.
Before the documentary, nobody knew who this guy was. Now it's funny. He's sitting in a jail cell. He's probably all his marketability. He's at the top right now.
But you can't profit off of
that's
that,
what I
so
mean.
He's screwed.
He's screwed.
Basically, he can never write a book or do a movie because you cannot profit off of.
But they profited on him. That's the funny thing. Huh? Anyway, Scott Burr said, "Hey, it's time to get Jerry Burr on the phone. I was telling him the other day that I thought you should have been the AC/DC frontman instead of Axl." And Jerry chuckles a bit and said that Bon was one of your favorite singers when you were growing up, and loved to hear me some AC/DC covers. And, we know you got that AC/DC.
Well, to let Jerry Burr, everybody know, Jerry Burr was the first singer of Violence. And Jerry Burr lived in Dublin. He's a Dublin guy. And
Another Dublin guy.
Moved to Minnesota. Well, at least I knew he was in Minnesota. I don't know if he's still there. So he has to come back to your old town where we do the vault. And I would love to have you in and talk about that. And we could do it in a weekend where I'm actually doing an AC/DC show, and you can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. So calling you out on that, bro. Fly to California.
Anybody around here gets a chance to see AC/DC. Great cover band for probably the best, I think.
Tribute. We are a tribute band.
Okay. I think the best one.
Thank you, Walt.
Okay.
The lineup is very stellar. Everybody is very much professional in what
you know what I always say is, like, you take you away from it or you take Dave Chapman away from it, and it's not the same, but you put you guys together and it's pretty much the Bon Scott era of AC/DC.
It is the Bon Scott. You close your eyes, that's what you hear.
Quality. All right, now we got White Bread, who I think I know who that is. Hey, Zet, how about your review for The Platform? Stay safe. That's The Platform is a movie on Netflix. Did you happen to see that?
Did not.
Okay, so see that because I saw it and Juan Ortega saw it and loved it too. So check it out. It's a horror kind of movie.
Did not see it.
Okay, you got to see that. Darren Travis, sadist, Zet, Wayne, and Walt, stay safe. I'll throw that in there.
Darren, get your ass on my show. Darren, quit trying to duck and dodge my show.
And Steve DiGiorgio too.
Let's see him in here. Get come on! I can't get Johnny. Johnny's in Texas, so I'd already rattled him up here. But you boys are people want to talk. I got a sadist postcard right behind Walter's head. People want to talk sadist.
That's true.
Let me know.
Tommy D. Clean.
Hi Wayne. Yeah,
Carp,
are you waving at me?
Angler.
Yeah, hi Wayne. Yeah, he's waving at me. It means he must be on it right now. But I'm just gonna wave back and act like a dick. Yeah. Hi. How are you? Yeah. So the producer does. That's right. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Oh, who's to know?
We're gonna wait.
No.
Oh, we're going.
I just ranting.
I thought we were commercial break or something.
No, there's no commercial
Here
break.
we go.
I'm ranting.
Okay, Tommy D. Clean,
The
Carp,
show is,
Angler.
This is how we do it. It's raw, baby.
Zetro, thanks for this. Check out Friday for the new Black Dahlia Murder album. Stay safe. Grease from Belgium. And your son, both your sons love that band.
And I love Trevor. I'm good friends. I've become friends with those guys because they turned me on.
That's a heavy band, by the way.
And they're heavy.
Yeah,
I love those guys. That's another thing. Like, there's a few bands that were kind of early on that I'd never heard of that I've become friends with because my kids are in love. Of Mice and Men is another one. My daughter loves Of Mice and Men. And we were on Soundwave Festival in Australia in 2015. And a lot of you fly together. A lot of the bands, if you're on the same schedule, the way it runs on that, it's kind of difficult to explain. But a lot of times you'll get paired up in vans to go to the venue and come home together. And it seemed like every time we got in, it was Mice and Men guys in there, and I became friends with them. And the same thing with Black Dahlia Murder. Cody kept telling me, check them out, they're great. And then I checked them out, and I dug them. And Exodus did some festivals with them, and I became friends with Trevor. And he's done.
I think it's easy for you guys to make friends with these younger bands that are coming up because a lot of them are influenced by what you did, and they were kids.
That's true,
right?
Or they weren't even born yet,
right? That's true.
Or their dads weren't even born yet.
Metal Mickey, I'd like to see you talk about Force of Habit. And I know that's another project that we're on.
That's next.
Okay, so I thought I'd mention that.
We'll get on that as we are
That's a unique album, by the way.
As the pandemic thing is starting to ease, restrictions are easing up. We'll start doing more episodes.
That'll
like
be
that.
an interesting because I think Craig or someone mentioned how Force of Habit was
Jason Bittner from Overkill Shadows Fall says it's his favorite album. He X's this album.
But
I think loves there was all of them, but that's his
wasn't
favorite.
There some record pressure for it to sound a certain grunge way?
We'll get into. Yes. I'm not going to derive any.
It'll
of
be
those
a good
news.
interview.
It will definitely be good.
All right, Justin Lopez. Hey Zetro, when this is all over, you should check out this place in SoCal Burbank called Mystic Museum, and they have an installment called Slashback Museum, and they made part of the place like an old VHS rental store and nothing but horror tapes and memorabilia and shit you'd love.
I saw your comment actually, and I Googled it and checked it out.
Oh, you did
yes,
already?
Yes, I did. So I've already seen that. So thank you. And believe me, leave me shit like that because I get to go all over the fucking country and all over the world. So if there's some place like that, I got nothing to do at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but wait for sound check. I'll take a fucking Uber to this place and go buy cool shit like that. So thank you for that heads up. When I saw that comment, I Googled it and checked it out on my hit list.
All right. Now, Chad from the Black Star Riders, another one of the guests you had in.
Great guest.
Michael Gaffney says, thank you for this. Chad is my favorite drummer and has inspired me in many ways outside of even being a musician. That was amazing to watch. Eric Berry, so cool to see Chad on the vault. The 3-way camera angle are definitely badass. Zet, Wayne, and everyone else involved with the show, job well done. Thanks for doing what you do. That's a shout out to Wayne there, too.
Yeah, Wayne, we're going to shout out to you right now.
Even though we're on
you know what my shout out is?
We're on a single camera.
Yeah, I was just going to, God, you didn't let me do it. God, Walt, I was going to say that you're not special enough to get 3 cameras.
No, I'm not.
It's too much editing.
Oh.
So I
too
just
much
was going to say that. Wow, I thought,
just Walt.
When you got here earlier, Tim, I was telling him we have 3 cameras, and then our producer comes and says, we're not using that for viewer comments. I'm like, wow, Walt, really? So there you go. That's why we're not using it today. But I'm sure on our next quality guest, we'll have it back for you.
That's right. There's more work. I love it when he works. Anyway.
I'm glad we got the rip on him for it. Good.
Happy 420 episode. One of your favorite days of the year. Happy 420. Matt C.
It's 420. That's
It says, you need to trim your bush, mate.
Okay, dude. Okay. I know what I'm doing, okay?
Yeah.
I have been pulling the bottom leaves. If you were to see my plant now, I actually have string around it holding the arms horizontal.
Is that all you, or do you have help doing this?
No, I'm doing it.
Oh.
Oh, you know who
You're
I have?
Advanced now.
I have Mike Crisp. You know Mike Crisp from Michigan? He's friends with the bands. Anyway, Mike Crisp, I FaceTiming every week, and Mike Crisp takes care of me. He's quite schooled in it, and but I mean, come on. I've been smoking weed since 76. I could grow a fucking plant.
This is a good one. Aging Lifter wants to know, best restaurants in Dublin, California is, and you should know that. What are your favorite restaurants around here?
We like to go to Casa. We like Casa Roscoe. Everybody likes Mexican food.
Yeah.
We do like
I've
to
been
go to
there.
Casa. Frankie, Johnny, and Luigi's. They got amazing pizza there. I love their pizza there. Their Italian food's good, but Frankie, Johnny, Luigi. And then there's a town right next door called Pleasanton. They have a pizza parlor called Porky's Pizza, just opened in the last year. I had
good pizza
there.
is hard to find.
That is very, very, very. You pay for good pizza, Walt, and I don't have a problem with that. Pizza could be $30. You know what I mean? As long
when we
as
were kids,
good.
it was like 12.
I know it was still
for a large.
It's never been cheap, So
yeah.
So that's what I would say on the restaurants in Dublin.
Mike for Metal again says, Zet, you remind me of Cheech in Night's Dreams.
And when I was going like on the buds, I was doing that purposely. That's exactly what I was doing. I
a little play off there.
I saw that. Remember, he's going, ooh, Oaxaca, and he's going, ooh, Sensi. Remember that? That's exactly what I was doing.
Now, we all love those old.
I love them. I watched Up and Smoke day before yesterday. Are you kidding me? And every time they light up, I light up. Just want you to know.
All right. So then we have Metal Mike's Metal Militia Meltdown interview.
The greatest ever.
Metal Madness
wrote that down.
66. Now that was a bit unexpectedly unusual, LOL.
Yeah, it was. We're We're going to get Metal Mike back here in the vault real soon just to screw around. I think it's kind of a fun thing to do. I've always loved the Muppet type thing and the puppets thing. I think it's kind of funny.
You're branching out a bit.
You can get anywhere. You know what? There's no rules here. I have no rules. I can do what I want. If you choose not to like what I'm doing, you can go click and turn it off. It doesn't matter. But I like doing stupid shit like that. It adds content. Again, it's just fun to do. But then again, I come back with cool ass interviews with Phil Demmel and Chuck Billy, don't I? So, don't think I don't know what I'm doing here.
Metal Dam 78. Fun show just the same. Hilarious questions for sure. All right. And now we're moving on to April 29th update. And Death Slayer. Congrats to Chuck Billy was in the band Guilt before he joined Legacy. James Hetfield produced the Piranha demo. And Lee Altos is from the Ukraine. So those
he
are
was
the
first
questions.
guy. No, they're not questions. That was a contest.
Right, the contest.
And he
right.
got him. Did he win his?
Congrats too.
And he got his prize. And we've sent that out. Well, I hope you received your package, and that's what you get. We will try to do.
That was good.
I don't know. Think of something right now, Walt, before we end this thing, and we'll make a contest for it. And I'll give you, guys, a Death Wish coffee package. It means I'll give you a canister, I'll give you a mug, some glasses, and some bandanas, some stickers and stuff. I'll give you a Death Wish coffee. I'm going to let Walter, while we're doing the comments, think of a good question for somebody to answer on this episode. First answer goes. Remember, that's how it works. First one up with the answer wins, because I don't know, and we will send you. Our producer, Wayne, will send you a prize back.
All right. And
courtesy of Death Wish Coffee. When you're drinking coffee in the morning and you want to get your zippy on, what do you drink, Walt? Death Wish Coffee. There you go.
All right. And, of course,
I learned that from TV.
In this episode was the famous Swedish border strip search. And lots of comments on that. I can't even read them. There was a lot. They love that. That was a funny story.
It was funny to happen. Some of us were not as happy as that. Right. I was like, whatever. You want to look at my dick? Fine. Here it is.
And Metal Dam 78. Great episode, Zetro. I'm surprised Lee reacted the most hostile. From my experience, the people who grew up in a totalitarian environments and have something less totalitarian have little patience for that shit. I bet Lee has 1 million great stories.
2 million great stories, believe me. And he was not sitting for it, because his take was here we are. You're obviously musicians. We're obviously not drug smugglers. We're coming into your country, which is Sweden.
And around the world has changed. Marijuana is not a big thing anymore.
It's legal where I'm standing. It's completely legal. And we're driving to your country to entertain your people, to entertain you guys. Not here to draw anything. And we pay taxes. We don't do it. We're not. We're paying taxes in your country, and you're going to completely, thoroughly search our bus. And
it's like the old days, huh? It's like back in 1978 or 80. Back in those days.
Well, I mean, that's what. Well, we know it's got to be very much hidden and not smoked before we go into Sweden. So. We love all this. We love Sweden. We love all the bands from Sweden. Just the border, they can go fuck themselves.
Kevin Smith, Live PD with Zetro. Funny story. Glad everybody is all right.
Live PD.
Random question for Zetro. Out of all the lyrics you've ever written, which ones are you the proudest of?
Probably all the early stuff. You know what I mean? Although what I write now, I really enjoy, but I feel that I know what to do now. I know how to attack it and approach it. I think back then it was raw and it was just coming from.
I think when you were in Legacy and this, it was more horror based.
Well, it was more fantasy based. And then when I joined Exodus is more realism and
political
violence and tongue in cheek, very much so. They'll talk about stuff. So I went from writing Alone in the Dark to Chemical. You understand?
Right.
So there's a lot of songs. I mean, Toxic Waltz. People love that song. It was written as a joke. I was like, I brought the lyrics. I go, look, I wrote this. It's just funny, Gary. Just read this. And I go, it's not the lyrics. I just was screwing around last night, and I wrote down. He goes, oh, these are brilliant. I'm like, you're crazy. And look what happened then, 31 years later. So I'm very proud of everything that I write. I think that's what makes, to me, recording is great. But when you write it, it's there forever, and you're etched in stone forever. And I look at it that way, very much so.
All right. And now, David Vidovic, can't even say it right, but he's from Croatia, and he just wanted to let you know that going to your show, he had to drive over the Slovenian border, and for 2 hours they left us on the side of the road searching through their car, and then they just left all this shit piled there. They don't give a shit.
That's what they do.
And so, police will be police, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that you had to drive so far and get hassled like that to see, the tour and see the band. But we're glad that you did. Again, there's a lot of places that we go where they know that we're not drug smugglers. They know we're musicians, and they just, I don't know, it's just part of them. I mean, they literally had like probably 25 people out there on 2 rock bands, and they spoke very good English, and they took a lot of time. And so when I was talking to one of the officers, I looked at him and said, how much is this costing you? I mean, for every one of your officers out here, when you go into the room to search us, you're going to have to clean and sterilize all that.
Who's getting by while they're taking the focus on you?
Regardless of that, it's just like, was what you were going to get or not get worth all of this time and taxpayers' monies?
Well, we know that band members aren't
so
pure criminals. Come on, that's how you make your living, right?
Come on, it's a rock band. You're going to tell me if Willie Nelson or Snoop Dogg comes into fucking Sweden, you're going to not do the same goddamn thing? They're infamous for being weed smokers. So bullshit. You know what I mean?
All right.
That's
and also,
bullshit.
Joel will comment and say, Gary was stopped by a drug dog in New Zealand.
I know that story.
Kept him in the airport for a few hours. They couldn't find anything on him. I'm guessing he sat too close to Jack.
Yeah, you nailed all of those things. That's exactly what he thought. I wasn't in the band at that time. And from what Gary says, he never wants to go back to New Zealand. So if we never back to New Zealand, that's why, guys.
All right. So now we're moving on to Zetro's live Thursday, May 7th. You did a live Toxic Vault.
I do it with my son.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it again.
Claire Wilson. What a great live episode that was. Zet and Nick, you are both awesome. You need to do that, more of these. I really hope there can be a Exodus Hatred tour, and I can't wait for the new music from both bands. And I'm a big fan of Mel Brooks too. Love you guys.
I know you are, Claire. We have these Claire's she's from Manchester. She's one of the heavy metal moms. She comes to the shows with her husband and her kids, and I just love that. I love that it's a complete family affair. So I actually have paid attention to her. I've seen her posts on many of my stuff on social media, and she was in the crowd actually in Manchester, and I shouted out to her. And I do like to shout out to her and all of the heavy metal moms and dads that bring your families to see Exodus or any of these thrash metal tours. It is definitely a family affair. It is good, friendly, violent family fun. I think that's what it's. It used to be good, friendly, violent fun. Now it's good, friendly, violent family fun or something like that. But we love that. We'll keep doing more and more. I'm actually going to have Cody come in, and then I'm going to have Madison come in, and I'm going to do with each of my kids, we're going to do a live.
And you're a grandfather now, right?
Yeah, I am.
So maybe bring in the kid.
I could bring Jackson, my grandson. Yes, Nick had a son. He'll be a year before, I think, probably around by the time this gets aired, around June 2nd is his birthday, and I'm a very proud grandfather. He's a very handsome little boy, and we're very happy to have him. We love him, and we're very happy to have him. The next generation of metalheads from the Sousa family, he's coming. He's coming.
Uncle L, awesome show. Hey, Zet, can you tell us more about your action figures you got on the wall? And you guys are wrestling nerds like me, old school. Jericho is pretty groovy.
AEW is absolutely amazing. Anything Jericho touches turns to gold. I mean, I like Fozzy, and there's a lot of people that are not in heavy metal, and then they try to dip in and do it, and it's not genuine, and it doesn't come off genuine. Fucking Jericho's genuine. I love that song, Judas. I love hanging out with him. I think his band is a great band. He's one of the most... He's not even done yet. That's why we don't know how brilliant of a mind he is, because it's usually when they're finished is when they get their comeuppance, even though he gets it in a big way because he has stayed relevant in that business for so long, and A-list, and I watch AEW, and he's done it right. It's brilliant. I love Jim Ross. I love Tony Giovanni. I Kenny Omega. I mean, I love the wrestlers that they have there. I love the way they present it. I'm old school in that way.
Did you go to WrestleMania ever back in the
I've
day?
never been to one. I've watched them on pay-per-view.
I went to one at the Cow House, so I just throw that in there.
I couldn't have been WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They never had WrestleMania at Cow Palace.
Oh, you sure they did. With the Hulk Hogan. I'm talking, I'm pretty old, so. But it was like one of the original ones. Yeah,
The original WrestleMania was at Madison
I was
Square
never
Garden.
into it. My girlfriend
The
was
only
into it at the time.
WrestleMania that's been in the Bay Area was at Levi Stadium.
We'll have to look at it because I know.
You know-
I have a T-shirt from it too. Anyway, let's move on. Paul Newton, and this is a comment. Andy Sneap, best metal producer out there.
Yes,
And
definitely.
He masters it. Does he produce
everything.
He does everything.
The whole thing. He does the whole thing. He's through the whole process. On Blood In Blood Out, he wasn't on the recording process. Jack did the actual recording, but working with him. And Andy's the magician.
And you go out to his house sometimes, right?
I have never done that. Gary has.
Okay.
I know Jack has. I know in Testament Eric has. Chuck has.
Right.
So he's got kind of this barn set up that's his studio. That's cool out where he
You know,
lives.
it's funny. He's so good at getting it really well done that now his big rap, it's too clean and too good. Can you?
It's so good,
isn't it?
It's so full.
I guess that's a
We
compliment.
thought- back in the day, we thought we had sound, and then we met Andy Sneap, who actually takes the part of Glenn Tipton when Judas Priest is
Right.
live.
Do you think he's going to stay in that for the next album, or do you think?
I'm sure.
Yeah, because
I'm sure. He's having a great time.
That's right.
I don't necessarily know if he's contributing to writing or even playing on the record, but I know that he's definitely into being a live player. Talk to him about
All
it.
right, we're winding down now at the last episode that I have comments for, and it's the Phil Demmel 2 episodes, May 13th. And, I just read on Blabbermouth, and you broke the news about Phil announcing 2 new Violence songs. Done. Right? That's one of the big things that came out of that. And you made Blabbermouth. Demented Daniel. I remember discovering Violence when I was in a record store. I was about to buy a Voivod cassette, and Eternal Nightmare caught my eye. One of the most phenomenal
I agree.
album
From
covers.
top to bottom. I'm not just talking about the way the record opens and the first song goes in is so heavy in that opening riff.
And what do you
So-
think about Bobby on the next Violence album? What do you think that's going to be like?
I think it's going to be great. Welcome back to the ranks that he belongs in, basically. I mean, I know he's been playing on, I think he lives in Florida now. He's been playing on other not so, sizable or attention-grabbing projects, but,
Do you remember when he lived out here?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we hung out a bit.
That's right, we did, and he's back. Being in Violence is great. It's where he's gonna. I can't wait to see him.
What
and
we
Phil
got to do is
together.
next time he comes out here to practice,
I'll get him on the
vault because that's
Yes,
what
I
it
will.
says right
Oh,
here.
I've got overkill stuff to talk about him about. Don't worry, we're doing that.
Survival Bay Area. Is that Zetro, can you talk about Russ Anderson? He's always seemed like an unspoken thrash hero. Always was curious about his background story. I think he just got out of. He's been saying that he was in a rehab and he quit drinking. He lost all this weight, and I think that means that music's gonna come back to him.
I don't know. I haven't heard from Russ other than when we had Craig on the show, and I have to say this. No one could sing like Russ back in the day. We were all trying to be something, and he was already that. That guy could sing his ass off.
Hit those
he's
highs.
a great talent. I just don't think that he really cared for what came along with it. You know what I mean? And
Some
necessarily
people
the
handle it better
spotlight,
than others.
and maybe he was good at it and liked it, but maybe his heart wasn't as. And I don't know. This is just speculation, looking at and analyzing what I see and what I know. But
you're going to get him in here and ask him
I
those
would
questions.
love to have him in here. I
think he can come
do
now.
have contact through someone who's contacted him. I don't know if he's ready to come in, but amazing talent, amazing vocalist. It would be so great for that whole thing to come back together, and then the Bay Area would be completely filled in full circle. Heathen back, Death Angel back, full strength, Exodus back, Testament back, and Forbidden back. That would really solidify it. I'd like to see it. I'm sure a lot of people would. The comments we got during Craig's episodes on here were all about, please put the band, get the band. We love the band, and they do, and people.
Well, you're
do.
bringing them in here one at a time, so that's.
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm doing. I remember telling him, because he tells that all the time. We were watching the premiere at Get Thrashed, and I had just come back from Europe, and I told him, I says, I was sitting next to him, and I go, listen, if you don't, you better put it back together. And if Russ doesn't want to do it, I'll do it, because people want Forbidden, and they did. And then the next couple of years, he had put that together, and it was. Actually worked out really, the time they did the Alpha, the Omega Wave record was great. Chuck and I actually sang a part on it, and
Steve Smythe came in there.
Steve Smythe came in, great line. So we'll see. Hopefully, I don't know these things, but like being a fan, like everybody else, would love to see it.
Thrash Puppy 2010. How about a horror movie vault special? I know you're a horror hound too, Zet. Would be awesome to talk horror with you over a few beers, and they'd love to have you a show just about we did one, your favorite movies.
We've done that. You know what I think we need to do, Walt, is we need to do like I did, go YouTube Live, and then we'll have a discussion on maybe we'll do that. We'll do a YouTube Live, and we'll just do a discussion on horror, and we'll talk about horror. And you guys, as fans, you guys can submit and chime right away, and we can talk about it. So, what do you think?
Good.
There we go. There's an episode right there for you guys. So, tell you what, in the next couple of weeks, I got some more guests that are coming in, and we could start scheduling that as well. So,
things coming up. Black Death. 44 minutes is not enough, but thank you so much. I could listen to you guys for hours. Love this shit.
Cool. Well, I go as long as I feel till it seems like it peters out. And honestly, even in my guests and some of the stuff I do, I don't want to kill them. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to sit here for many hours. Now, most of you, by the time you see this aired, have watched the Chuck Billy interviews, and we have only, and I'll touch on those briefly, because we'll come back and do that. We only touched on the actual COVID. We talked about the tour and the album. I plan on having Chuck in here later this summer, because there is no tours going on right now, and we're going to talk about Dublin. We're going to talk about his dad and baseball and Rampage and Ernie Bame and Willie Lang and playing at the stage and all, and
how he manhandled people back then.
Oh God, how he used to just Chuck E. Cheese. We called him Cheese. We didn't even call him. I called him that for years. But back in the '80s, we called him Cheese. He was Chuck E. Cheese. So we're gonna go over that. So I hope you enjoy the stuff.
Yeah, actually, the second episode of Chuck's interview just came out this morning, so it's fresh right here.
Well,
so
they won't know that because this won't get aired until probably.
I get you.
Next
I'm
week.
just giving it a time frame.
As we're taping this.
Last question, it's a question, is from Matt Leon. Is Zetro wearing makeup?
Why would I wear makeup? Why would I wear makeup?
I didn't,
I already look pretty. I don't fucking need makeup. Oh, yeah, that's another job I'm getting. Hey, Wayne, I need makeup. Oh, yeah, I'll get you right now. It's like some eyeshadow. I'll get Connie over here. We'll make you do your makeup.
You're very natural, Steve.
Like I don't fucking...
No, and you don't even dye your hair anymore.
I know.
But it looks good. It looks
really?
Good. Yeah, it does.
Really?
I will say that. And you don't do any of that, and sometimes you don't even shave. And you
go to the gym and eat good, but I haven't been able to go to the gym because this pandemic, but...
I don't think you're all into trying to look perfect for this thing. You're just who you are when you wake up, and you're doing it.
I wake up, I take a shower, this is what I am, and this is what I get. So that's what we got, huh, Walt?
All right, that was it.
Well, it was great having you back, dude.
I'm happy to be back.
Good to see you. It's been a while. We're going to get more normal like this. Like I said, we're going to discuss some other episodes. We did do the YouTube Live. Worked really well, too. It was cool. Plus, people could watch it later, so we'll set that up. And we don't even need Wayne here for that. He could be home editing.
I'm sure he loves that.
He could be home editing a 3-camera episode that we did or something. I don't know. Something like that. So you guys keep the comments running because we keep liking to do this. And obviously, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I love the numbers. We're almost at 5,000. To me, That's amazing that I have 5,000 of you metalheads that come and sit through this and watch and are very interested. It would be great to be 50,000 or 500,000, but I love every one of you that come in and comment, and I hope you like what we do here. It's been a little bit over a year now that we've been doing this, and we're just going to keep continuing to do it. It's part of what today's social medium is in these days. You don't need to have your own network television show to have your own television show and kind of do what you're doing. And I think that YouTube has proven that, and other platforms and other stands of social media. So,
And your content is always great.
And I have many stories because I have been doing this for years, and I have many friends, and we will definitely try to get all of them into the vault. So you guys, it's great having you here. And well, that's about it, huh?
That's it. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. So remember, leave me comments, share this, watch it on a huge screen because it's the best way to see it. And we'll see.
And you can get the T-shirt. I love that.
Yeah,
T-shirt.
go to greyhavenmedia.net. We still have those. And
you saw people on tour because I remember you said in your videos.
I look out in the crowd, go there, and that patches now too. And so now on the battle jackets, I'll see Zetro's Toxic Vault, and so go check it out. Oh, our contest. What are we going to do? Come up with a question.
With a question.
I have one.
Oh, good.
Last year, I was at a horror convention, and I had a party after the horror convention. And one of the people that came back, in my eyes, was a very famous actress.
Yes.
And her name is Veronica Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
And she played in a lot of the Hammer films. Now, her cross is that 3 people from the Star Wars movies she acted with. She did a movie before they, with 3 of the actors. Name all 3. If you can name all 3, you'll win the Death Wish Coffee prize pack.
Okay, and I'll put in a bonus question. There was a famous Bay Area old schooler that's no longer, but he was known for walking on people's heads and diving. And if anybody,
the Bay Area's going to get that one. That's not no fun.
Well, it's a bonus.
They know that. They know that what I gave them, they're going to have to do some work for.
Oh yeah, they are.
They're going to have to do some work for.
But name that person.
Okay, name that person. But you will win the coffee if you name the 3 people from the Star Wars movies that Veronica Carlson acted with. We'll see you guys in the vault real soon.